Are you sure we've asked everything we need to? I am sure, I think. What? Maybe we can present something. Present... Oh, the tin box is not in our evidence list. Can we present anything? Maybe the new evidence we had? Handprints on the wall. Maybe Soseki-san knows something about it. Mr. Natsume, it's nothing much, but... Oh, it's been too long since I've been offered a present with that delightfully humble etiquette of our homeland. That's not a present. What? You're too kind, I accept it gladly. Sorry, but I wasn't trying to give it to you, actually. Oh. Huh. Do you know that man? No, he doesn't. Okay. It's not a present! No! Huh? Do we show him... ask him about... the envelope? No. Do we ask him about the teacups? No. What do I have to do here? Nope. What about the gas meter? No. About the capital of vendor article? Oh, maybe we need to investigate. There's nothing here. Oh, wait a minute. He has like brushes and stuff, like he's an artist. And he looks a little bit like olive green, doesn't he? Maybe this is Olive Green's father? Maybe? Huh. Or brother. Condemned criminal dies of natural causes in prison. Manchester Strangeways Prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes in the early hours this morning. He had been suffering with fever since the end of October. Alerted by the shouts of his fellow cellmate, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. Oh, what's this? It's a newspaper cutting that we found in Mr. Shamspeare's room. Oh, so he knew, did he? Sorry? About this man, Selden. A convicted killer and the evil spirit behind the curse that afflicts my lodgings. Oh! That's the one who lived before you? What? He's already taken one young man's life and now he's trying to take the life of another, a miserable mustached, much maligned Japanese man. Mr. Natsume, if you know something, please, you must tell us. Tell us everything you can about this evil spirit. The truth is, I didn't know the details myself until very recently. That Selden man was arrested about a year ago now. And at the time he was hiding out in lodgings at Mr. Garrideb's house. What? He lived where you do now? That's right, yes, exactly where I live now. In my very room. Oh my, Your room was previously occupied by a criminal found guilty of a capital offense?
But before his sentence could be carried out, he died in prison. That was 3 months ago now. And that's when it started. The curse!
What really is this curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Natsume?
It's already caused one death. A few months after the criminal passed away in prison, a man died in the room. The man who rented it after Selden, in fact. The poor lodger, he was found dead in mysterious circumstances. The room was locked from the inside.
Locked from the inside? Exactly like the case we're dealing with now. So that's the convict's curse, is it?
Yes, well, that was the start of it.
Do you have any idea how the lodger before you passed away, Mr. Natsume?
The official cause of death was asphyxia. When they discovered the body, the room was full of gas.
Gas?
I only found out after I signed the lease. And when Mr. Garrideb came to tell me later, I couldn't stop myself trembling. In fact, if I'd known beforehand, I'd probably have been too scared to take the room. Landlord's lease, luckily legal.
Lucky for Mr. Garrideb maybe, but not so lucky for poor Mr. Natsume. And now you believe this curse is affecting you?
Yeah, it is. At first, I just felt as though I was being watched all the time.
And then you talked about having nightmares, didn't you?
The dead are trying to take me with them. They come for me and try to suffocate me. Just when I'm struggling to breathe, I wake up.
And the room
is as cold as ice.
But why is your room so cold?
The London winters are too cold to bear without any heating on overnight, but for some reason, even though I light the stove before I climb into bed at night, the pilot light always goes out and the room fills with gas.
But that's terrible! That's exactly the same situation as what led to the previous occupant's death. And then there's what happened to Mr. Shamspeare last night when he was mysteriously poisoned. There's clearly more to that incident than can be explained by a curse, though. Whatever can be the cause of all these strange happenings in Mr. Garrideb's rooms? Are we done now? Oh, we need to visit Mr. Garrideb? Why not? Ah, you're here now, Mr. Garrideb.
Alright, balling business it is for me, you know, getting out and about.
Were you at the Old Bailey by any chance?
Naturally, fate of my lodgings hanging in the balance and all that, not a trial to miss.
The fate of what's really already been dubbed your haunted lodgings, yes?
Of course, the place has caused quite a stir around the capital on more than one occasion already. As the old haunted lodgings or some such.
Well, at least he knows.
It makes you wonder what the blazes is going on, don't you know?
Yes, I'm sure it does. In fact, thinking back to Mr. Natsume's other trial just 2 days ago. And you were at the Old Bailey then as well, weren't you? Testifying with your wife about what happened.
Sholmes, why are you here? I just noticed him.
I stopped off at the prison on the way home, in fact, with beastly business.
I see.
So, what brings you to my haunted abode today, eh?
Your lodgings, your lodgers?
Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chap of questionable character, eh? Yes, the house does seem to have become something of a magnet for rum fellows of late. Thanks to that bally curse.
The convict's curse, you mean?
I heard the stories, have ya? Rotten scoundrel was arrested here, then the next chap in the room goes and kills over. Then there was that woman who dropped dead just outside the street, not to mention the actor yesterday. And my next, eh? Well, can't help but to get the holly wobbles, can you?
When you say the woman who dropped dead outside on the street, do you mean Miss Green? Because Miss Green, who was stabbed by the knife, and Mr. Shamspeare, who was poisoned last night, are both very much alive still.
Yes, well, so is that blasted convict's curse, it seems.
Personally, I should be quite content with such lodgings. A bay, a bath, a toilet, a fireplace, a fascinating history. Why? It sounds like the lap of luxury. I'm not so sure about that.
Well, there's no bath or toilet included, and no fireplace either.
But you do look out for your tenants too, don't you? By watching the rise and fall of the flames in your gas lamps up here?
Yeah, it's never hurts to keep an eye on things, in case there are any mishaps or such like.
I think you've had your mishap already, sir. That's not helpful, Mr. Sholmes, and very tactless. Heaven forgive me, the words just came to my lips.
Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chap of questionable character, eh?
There's no need for that, Mr. Gary Depp. That's right, Mr. Natsume is in no way fishy. He is undeniably peculiar, however. Is it right that he took the vacancy immediately after the previous tenant passed away?
Yes, that's right. I asked the estate agent to find someone and he popped up the very same day. Never come across a chap so keen for a place with a background, as it were.
I don't think it was the room's background he was keen on so much as the cheap rent, actually. So, how long has Mr. Shamspeare been lodging under your roof?
That failed actor chap? Let me see. Oh, of course. Yes, it's been 3 months now. Quite sure of it.
3 months? He's quite new here too, then. And to what do you owe your certainty in that regard, Mr. Garrideb, if I might ask?
Well, it was that Selden scoundrel as it happens.
Selden? The convict, you mean? Do Selden and Shamspeare have some kind of connection, then?
That convict chap, Selden, passed away in the clink 3 months ago now, you see. Some malady or other.
Yes, we've seen the report from the newspaper at the time.
Well, it was only 3 days later that a tragedian showed his face, the actor fellow.
Really?
Yes, I remember it quite distinctly.
'Tis the Marth, this world we inhabit. Prithee, landlord, hear my request. I, the humble Shamspeare, do desire to take thy room on the middle floor offered erewhile for rent.
Terribly sorry and whatnot, but that won't be possible. Already have a lodger on the middle floor, ground floor rooms vacant though?
Nothing can be made out of nothing. Let me repeat mine will unto thee.
Those girls must be muffling your ears. The room on the middle floor is taken. It's ground floor or nothing.
Very well, we have an accord. Oh my goodness. Is he after the treasure? That is in Mr. Natsume's room?
Glad to hear it. Welcome to Briar Road.
Oh, a Shamspeare dance to celebrate.
Okay. I wish I didn't see it. From what I heard in court today, it sounds like the chap was thieving gas. And it was 3 months in arrears with the rent too. Yes, the fellow was a bally player, alright.
Thank you for your candor, Miss Garrideb. We are most grateful. By way of appreciation, allow me to say 1 or 2 words. Give me my robe, put on my crown. I have immortal longings in me.
What are you doing, Sholmes?
What's happened to you? Shakespeare, my dear fellow, one of his most famous lines. I wish to divulge my own learnings of the subject, for I have a turn for literature too, you know. Perhaps you could turn your attention to more apt lines then? Wait, am I not studying English literature? Or am I just studying the English language, I guess that's it. Huh. Okay, can you tell me more about this picture? Mr. Garrideb, could I ask you to look at this photograph? Is that your son who's with you there?
No, not at all. He was a lodger here once. Duncan Ross was his name.
Oh, Ross, not Green. Duncan Ross.
A street photographer happened to be passing, so I asked him to take a shot just for kicks, really.
Was he by any chance the lodger before Mr. Natsume? Oh, he who died?
Yes, that's right.
The young gentleman who died in a room in mysterious circumstances. Just what Mr. Moustache was waiting for, one might say.
Yes, young Duncan lived in a room at the top of the first flight of stairs before that Japanese chap.
Would you mind telling us a little more about him?
Yes, Duncan Ross, young chap, was attending art school, had to work to pay for it, mind. Moved into the middle floor room about a year ago after that criminal Selden was arrested. Young students are always on the hunt for rooms with a history behind them.
A history of cheap rent, maybe, yes?
Yes, well, anyway, it was one morning about a month ago now. Hadn't quite worked out the old trick of watching the gas lamp to see what my lodgers are up to at the time. Though sadly, I was rather tardy to discover what had happened. Smell of gas that alerted me it was.
Yes, synonymous with the smell of death.
Called the police straight away, of course, and the officer kicked the door off its hinges. And once we got inside, we all barely collapsed.
Because of the gas?
Yes, the room was full of it, no air at all. Stove must have gone out while the poor chap was sleeping in his bed.
That's a terrible way to go. So Mr. Ross suffocated to death.
Of course, the police gave me a sound taking off because the gas pipes were so old and all that. Can't tell you how much it set me back to have the lot replaced all over the house.
But even after you had all that work done, Mr. Natsume says the same thing. That the stove goes out at night whilst he's asleep in bed.
Well, that's a bally curse, the convict's curse. I've done my duty as a landlord now.
Yeah, I would be very worried if I were in his shoes. Someone's feeling defensive.
Ah, that reminds me, actually.
Yes?
About young Duncan, the night before the poor chap perished. He'd been writing a letter of affection to a young lady.
A love letter, you mean?
Yes, where did I put it now? Ah, here it is, left it on my desk.
If you'll excuse me, let me see now, what does it say? To my most beautiful and charming sweetheart. Do you think that we should be reading such a personal piece of correspondence? My dear Mr. Sato, that is precisely why I prefaced my reading if you'll excuse me. I will not excuse you, Mr. Sholmes, no.
Whoa, what? Sato-san? Standing up to Mr. Sholmes?
That's a first.
Sadly, he didn't address it though, so I have no means of delivering the thing. Rather sad, really.
I see, that's going to play on my mind. But really, the identity of Mr. Ross's sweetheart has no bearing on the case. I think we should leave well alone.
Yes, I suppose you're right.
Indeed, the intended recipient's address is missing, however. There is a name attributed to the man's most beautiful and charming sweetheart. Mr. Sholmes, please, I've already had to chastise you about this once. My undying love to you, my colorful darling olive green. Olive green? The woman who was plunged into a coma after a knife plunged into her back outside his house. Outside this house 5 days ago? What a coincidence! The victim of the last case Soseki-san was in court for, who regained consciousness only yesterday. Is it just chance that her name has come up now? Could it possibly be a mere coincidence? Mr. Naruhodo, whatever can this mean? Reading personal correspondence can have its merits, you see, Miss Susato. Okay, now we visit Miss Green. Mr. Naruhodo, I've just finished speaking with the doctor. It seems Miss Green is well enough to be discharged at last. This is good news, but hopefully just before she leave... What is it? Miss Green! What was that? She clearly just hid something behind her back. One moment, I'll be with you in a jiffy. Oh, hello everyone. What are you all doing here? The doctor has said I can be discharged, so I'm just getting my things together. Miss Green, what were you just doing? Oh, nothing really. That wasn't that suspicious, I don't think. It was just... drinking. She was just drinking something and then reading something, right? I was just about to take some medicine the doctor prescribed for me, that's all. Well, we're hoping to have another quick chat with you if that's alright. I don't really have anything else to tell you. Alright, she's definitely behaving strangely. Let's see if we can't coax something out of her. Like, this is just a bottle of something. And some paper? A letter. Let's take a look at that, shall we? She'll be mad. This is the bottle that Miss Green was just about to drink from when we arrived. Yes, she looked rather preoccupied, didn't she? Perhaps it's very bitter. I can't stand bitter medicine. I suppose that could be it. In fact, whenever a doctor prescribes me medicine for a number of days, I always take it all at once. What? Oh no! Well, if you have to take something you don't like, it's best to get it all out of the way in one go, isn't it? Oh dear, and I thought it was Miss Green I should be worrying about at the moment. Kids, don't do that. Don't do that. This is the car that Miss Green was looking at so intently before, isn't it? Mr. Naruhodo, we shouldn't be peeking at a young woman's private effects. Right, I should save peeking for gentlemen's effects only. You mustn't do that either. She read my mind. And maybe you, Mr. Sato, shouldn't be peeking into a young man's mind either, huh? Good point, good point. It's wonderful news that you're going to be discharged, Miss Green. Oh yes, I mean, thank you. Once people are better, the hospital staff don't want them lingering and wasting space. Not people like me anyway. So I don't think I should keep anyone waiting. I probably shouldn't stand around and chat. She certainly doesn't seem to be in the mood to talk, that's for sure. How about we give you something, huh? Oh, we don't have the letter. Oh boy. Wait, this color. It looks exactly like this color. What could it mean? What could it mean? What could it mean? She was in the hospital all this time, right? She couldn't be going around downtown in the East End, I mean, and then poisoning people, can she? She can't be doing that. Do you recognize this man? Miss Green, we were hoping to ask you about someone. Mr. Duncan Ross. You knew him, didn't you? Whoa! Oh! What the? Oh no, I'm so sorry. The bottle of medicine fell down when she did. Oh, Miss Green, are you alright? I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to startle you like that. No, it's alright, I just wasn't expecting it. But how do you know about Duncan? Mr. Ross had been writing a letter when he passed away. The landlord found it in his room. It was a very personal letter to you. It was at the art school. That's where I met Duncan, a year ago now. He was working to fund his studies. He dreamt of becoming a professional artist one day. And the two of you became romantically involved. Yes, that's right. We were very much in love. We were engaged to be married, actually. That's why he decided to move into a cheaper room to save money for the wedding. And that's what led him to Mr. Garridap's? Yes, he told me he'd found the worst but cheapest room in the entire East End. And then, 1 month ago, that's when it happened. We're so terribly sorry, Miss Green. Well, it's all in the past now, I suppose. Poor Miss Green. She looks desperately sad. And I was starting to think that's just her look. You're so evil, Ryunosuke. But now I see that she has every reason to fear the universe is against her. I do hope you won't think I'm being rude, but... would you mind leaving me in peace now? I have to leave the hospital soon. Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to hold you up. Of course, we'll be on our way. Mr. Naruhodo. Surely you were not about to leave. Look at the background. The rat is dead after sipping the mystery liquid. What? That's quite out of the question. What? Mr. Sholmes, I didn't realize you were here. But of course I was, my dear fellow, watching intently from the shadows as always. Well, make your presence known next time. Mr. Sholmes, what's this about? Something which occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Sato, is this. Why do detectives insist on such an ex post facto modus operandi? Why solve a case after it's happened, instead of preventing a case before it happens? That is what sets a great detective apart. What do you mean? There's a case waiting to happen under our very noses, Mr. Naruhodo. So let us avert disaster. Let us prevent this case from ever happening with nothing but careful observation. Alright. All the clues you need are set before you. You need only look and you cannot fail to see. You can do it, Mr. Naruhodo. I know you can. Okay, yeah. Let's do it. Look at this. Look at this. That's Duncan Ross, definitely. Probably. It definitely feels as though this card must be relevant. I mean, when we first arrived, Miss Green was standing with it in her hand in what can only be described as a very tense atmosphere. Yes, it may very well be related to whatever incident Mr. Sholmes believes what's about to happen here. Perhaps you should ask Miss Green about it. And this thing. That mouse seems to be dead. Look, I didn't notice it there before, did you? I think perhaps it drank the medicine that spilled out of the bottle. But that's the bottle that Miss Green was about to drink from when we arrived. You don't think? I see you've come to appreciate the true nature of the scene. That of a tragedy about to take place. Yes, I think it's falling into place. Miss Green, the contents of the bottle you had before has spilled out on the floor, and the poor mouse that drank it has sadly died. I think it's clear that the bottle must have contained a powerful poison. Don't worry, I will attend to the mouse presently. That's not what we're worrying about. Miss Green, were you intending to go the same way as that rodent? To take your own life? Once we'd left, you would have put it to your lips again, wouldn't you? And taken the poison? No! Miss Green, please talk to us. And this person. Mr. Duncan Ross. Who would ever have thought he was engaged to be married to Miss Green? To lose one's beloved fiancée must be painful enough. But then Miss Green suffered that awful injury and outside her fiancé's former lodgings too. Fate can be very cruel sometimes. 10 seconds later and we would have arrived at a very different scene here. In all probability, we would have not enjoyed this most delightful conversation. Of course, perhaps it hasn't been quite so delightful from your perspective, Miss Green. Actually, in a way, now that everything's out in the open, I feel like a weight has been lifted. Tell me, how did you acquire that medicine? Well, with it being a hospital and all, when a doctor comes to examine me in the mornings, he always leaves the medicine cabinet open for a while, so I snuck this out when he wasn't looking. It conspicuously lacks a label. I wonder what it contains. I'm afraid I don't really know, but I thought if I drank it, it might just stop the pain somehow.
What?
Oh please, Miss Green, don't talk of such things.
Well, it seems clear now that it contains poison.
You didn't even know that it contained poison? What? Yes, that poor little mouse is proof of that. Oh no! Oh, it's all my fault! What have I done? I shall remove this to my office, Miss Green. I take it you have no objections. No, none. Neither the sender's name nor address appear to be written on the envelope or the card. It arrived by post at my home the day before the incident that put me on hospital here. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and sell it on Briar Road at 5 PM on 17. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Wait a minute, the 17th of this month? That's the day you were stabbed on Briar Road. And 5 PM is precisely the time when the incident occurred.
What?
The Slug and Salad, yes, a pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. Briar Road, being the street that Mr. Garrideb's house is on? Does this mean that... Yes, I'm sure you've guessed. That day when I was struck in the back by the knife, I was actually on my way to the Slug and the Salad. Goodness. So that's what you were doing on Briar Road that day. I'm sorry I didn't say anything before. I think I really will have to ask you to excuse me now. I've told you everything. Yes, I'm very sorry to have had to drag up such a painful memory for you. No, it's fine. Miss Green. Please, promise us you won't try to do anything like that again. Yes, don't worry. Your detective friend has the bottle now, anyway. And besides, I've been stabbed in the back and had a close shave with a bottle of poison, and I'm still here. I think I'm destined to see things through to the end. Well, okay, you can see it this way, I guess. It might sound a little conceited, but well, that's how all this has made me feel. Leaving Miss Green and St. Bartholomew's behind, we made our way back to Baker Street with Mr. Schultz. Well, it would appear we've reached the end of the investigative trail for today. Yes, it's late. And Mr. Naruhodo, did you discover anything that may be of use to you in court tomorrow, do you think? Details about Mr. Shamspeare, Mr. Garrideb's lodgings, the convict Selden. There are many facets to this case, and we're yet to see to the heart of it, if you ask me. That's my feeling, anyway. I can't help wondering about the results of the analysis. Into Mr. Natsume's tea, you mean? Yes, will they have found strychnine in it or not? Well, I fear that either way, it would be hard to escape the grip of our friend Mr. Reaper. Oh dear. Yes, Baroque van Zieks. But I wish you every success, of course, and though I was late to rise this morning. Tomorrow will be a new dawn. I intend to spring from my bed at a crisp hour and attend the trial. Okay, I'll take you to your word. Mr. Sholmes, you're going to come? Indeed, whatever happens, I shall be there, assuming my eyelids cooperate in the morning. Well, I think we've done all we can. All that's left is to remain focused and keep fighting for Mr. Natsume's cause until the very end. London, the world's most prosperous city. Home to some 6 million people. But away from the razzle-dazzle, down back alleys and behind bricked-up windows the lonely lurk. Soseki-san had battled long and hard with loneliness during his many months here, and so I felt honor-bound to battle equally hard for my compatriot. To lift the curse that gripped him. As Mr. Sholmes said, tomorrow would be a new dawn for all of us.